This is Amazon Jude coming to you from Wyoming. And I spoke to a friend of mine earlier today about what the Democrats are up to, and John McCain with his getting punked by Russian comedians or whatever they are acting as prime minister. The lame street media won't cover that, so I'll have to bring that one up too. Uh, anyway, let's start with I think what the Democrats and the insider establishment is trying to do is lead Trump down the road of the Nixon impeachment. And I just spent the last 6 hours listening to the testimony. Never once did I hear a question put to Nixon. I don't even think he was in the room, so they did the impeachment without him there. I'm not quite sure how to take that, but why would you? How can you impeach someone who isn't being asked questions? It was like 6 hours and 27 minutes of various congressmen saying what they thought about things and doing about things, and but I never once heard any segment on. I think it was a 7 series segment on that. So yeah, it's been a long day. Um, anyway, Nixon was never in the room. He was never asked a question like they did with Hillary and like they do with Department of Justice or FBI guys or anybody like that. I'm not quite sure how that works from 1974 August. But anyway, the fact remains they're walking down the same road trying to impeach Trump, trying to say that he knew that Flynn had talked to Russian ambassadors when it was his job to do so. The transcripts are still under wraps. If Trump wants to find out who the pigs are that are leaking things, then why won't they show the transcripts to him? Why won't they show the transcripts to Priebus or NSA General Flynn, Secretary of Defense? None of these guys have seen the transcripts, as far as I can tell. Because if the leaks were so good and it was all fired proof, they would be plastered all over the internet, don't you think? I mean, my God, this would be big news, and the lame street media would just be having a field day. Instead, they're picking at these little threads, but it's not meaning anything because, proof is in the pudding. So my warning to our President Trump is every single top agency, all 17 of them, need the top 50 fired. Fired on the spot. You've got millions of Americans that are willing to step up to the plate, put their resumes in, go through the background check, and take over these positions. Let's do it. I think it would be a great idea. I know the Democrats are holding up our confirmation hearings, and they can drag and squeal and squawk and do whatever they want to, but come April, I think you'll be able to put your guys in there. I would like to see a few less establishment Washington types and a little more constitutional party people. Maybe get with the Heritage Foundation and see what they have up, and the Constitution Party people. I mean, they're not nuts. They're not. Sometimes they're a little on the extreme side, and I can agree with that. But a lot of them have some good points, and a lot of them have great ideas and good perspectives. I wouldn't eliminate them. They are the American people, and they have parties that support them quite widely. Um, I wanted to talk about Lois Lerner, who was, and the reason I wanted to talk about this is because part of the Nixon downfall was that he had used the IRS to target, what was it, 500 and something people or organizations for audits to take care of his opposition. Well, that's the same thing that this Lois Lerner did. And, that woman got to walk away with a full pension. She was never indicted, and she should have been. As the IRS guy right now, who is still in charge, he needs to be indicted because he was part of that too. The swamp is deep, Mr. Trump, President Trump, and you're going to have to hire more than just your buds and trusted associates. Let these guys get into office and let them hire. They're going to have to be very selective, though, because you have some really undercover characters out there. And I would say keep going like you're doing. Your Florida deal the other night was awesome. The American people really needed to hear from you. They really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed your wife citing our prayer, because we are a Christian nation, but we're not so Christian that we will turn a blind eye to being attacked like Sweden and Germany and Paris. I know Sweden is trying hard to cover up the rapes of their women over there, and there's 55 no-go zones. I don't want a no-go zone. I'll take my fucking gun with me, and if it's a no-go zone, then I'm going to prison because I'm taking a bunch of them fuckers with me. And I'm a woman. I can dress any way I want to. Granted, I'm undercover for the most part, but if I wanted to wear a bikini out in public in the middle of Myrtle Beach, and some raghead comes up to me and tries to slap me around, he's going to learn a lesson on what it's like to get an old American ass kicking from a white bitch from down south. So, enough about that. But anyway, I want to tell you, Trump, they're leading you down the hole. I do have some doubts about people around you right now. I think you need to open up the bubble a little bit bigger into some of us that are waiting. I would love to come to work for you. I mean, yeah, I smacked my old man around back in, 92, but he was being a dick, so he deserved it. And you know what? If that keeps me out of national security or judging people, I have a great lawyer, Harry G. Bondi. 40 years, trial lawyer. Always looks ahead. Not one step, but 5 steps. And I never got into the law till I met him. And once I met him and we worked on my case, I could see how things can get twisted so fast, so easily. Our lame street media, Chris Wallace, his dad was a good man. But I'll tell you what, Chris Wallace is a, liberal asshat with his round wire rim glasses, and he's pathetic. CNN's pathetic. MSN's pathetic. New York Post, New York Times, Huffington Post. I think them fuckers over there huff gas all day long, because the shit they spew on mainstream media is just, it's outrageous. And we know what they're up to. So it's time to put the squelch to this. I want my president to fire every Obama appointee and 25 below him. That's how you root it out. You don't just take the head off of a weed, you get the roots to it. So, with that, I'm going to end in Obama. It's going to take 2 terms of Trump, 2 terms of Ivanka Trump, or Kushner, someone like that, because it's not Ryan and it's not Cruz. Granted, Cruz is trying, but I will never vote for him anyway. I saw him here in Casper. He was quite the jerk to the reporters here. I'm done with the politicians. The next time I vote, it will be for another one that is a non-politician. And I'm going to keep going with that the rest of my life. My son will, and most of our family in Wyoming. We will never vote for another politician as long as we live, no matter what you do now. Ryan, you need to get up off of your ass and start taking care of business. McConnell, you need to quit backstabbing us. John McCain, nobody elected you president. You had no business making deals with Ukraine against Russia. That's a two-party deal. All the American people are supposed to do, the American government, is to make talks between you two easier. Not give them arms, not give them money, not give them ground support, because I am, like many, many, many Americans, sick of war. You freaking warmongers. You keep picking wars. If you and Lindsay want a war with Russia, let's strap some guns onto your ass and let you go over there and fight. Oh, that's right. You never strapped on a gun. You were shot down, put in a hole, kissed some ass, got medical treatment on your daddy's name, and you're going to talk my president down? You flippin' traitor. And then get punked by Ukraine comedians? You gotta be kidding. You know, if you're after 75, I want you out of my Congress. If you've been there 30 years, I definitely want you out of my Congress. You've been there too long. You got more rubber stamps on your ass for big pharmaceuticals and war machines than I care to have. And that's coming from an American woman who knows how to shoot a gun, who knows how to talk, and knows and understands the people around me. Good night. Checking out from Wyoming.